What's up, guys? It's Jim from Wrestle Wellbeing here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Unseen Battles, where today we've got a very, very special guest. But before we get into my guest, I'm going to talk about a foundation that myself and my guest, as well as a lot of other people in the wrestling community, are a big part of and big supporters of, and that is the Hot Tag Foundation. For those of you that have been here before, you know what I'm going to say, but for those of you that are here for the first time, the Hot Tag Foundation is a non-profit organisation based here in the UK that aims to share wrestling with children across Britain, particularly those in need. The way that they do this is by collecting donations of wrestling items, could be toys, merchandise, and other wrestling-related goods, packaging these and distributing the items to children and young people. Mostly happens around the Christmas period, so around now, which... if you saw our live stream on Saturday for the Total Rumble with Kingdom Wrestling, you know that we did exactly that with the Hot Tag Foundation. So in essence, guys, the Hot Tag Foundation leverages the appeal of professional wrestling to bring joy and a sense of real-life superheroes to children, especially those facing challenging circumstances. Got a 2-minute clip here, guys, for you to watch. And then as soon as we'll watch that, I'm going to introduce my fantastic guest. Make sure you're watching this quick clip, guys, because it has got the logos of all the fantastic UK wrestling companies up and down the UK with a little QR code in the bottom right-hand corner for you guys to follow once this episode is done. Please stick around for this episode. It's going to be an absolute banger. And before we go on, I'm going to make my guest laugh by saying nibbles. Ready for... There you have it, guys. That is the Hot Tag Foundation, along with all the fantastic UK wrestling companies up and down the UK. Make sure you go check those guys out. But now, on to my guest today of the Unseen Battles. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who this person is. I mean, we all know who it is. It is basically Evan Bishop's mum. It's the mother of UK wrestling. It is the Harley Quinn to wrestling, Jeebus' Joker. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my honoured guest. I'm absolutely honoured and privileged to be joined by Miss Jobbin With Nicki. Nicki, thanks so much for joining me, love.
You're very welcome. I'm not Evan Bishop's mum, right? Let's get out of the way first. I was mistakenly told I was Evan Bishop's mum, but I'm not. I'm Owen Murdoch's.
So the stream's been going for about 5.5 minutes, and we've already got his first comment. It's from our very good friend, Mr. Wrestling Jeebus.
Of course it is.
I love Nicki, genuinely one of the best people I've ever met in my life. Mental health has improved massively since I met her, although my sense of hearing has declined. Love you, bestie. Jeebus, thanks so much for commenting, buddy. So yeah, guys, if that comment doesn't sum up Nicki, nothing will do. I mean, I've been in the wrestling community for about 6 months now, and since meeting Nicki, it's just been an absolute pleasure going to the shows. Myself, Liam, and my wife Shannon was at Kingdom Wrestling, like I just mentioned, for the title Rumble 2. And as soon as we saw that Nicki was on commentary, myself and Liam literally screamed down the phone at each other, "Get the F in, Nicki. We're going to see Nicki again."
Oh.
We're trying to not make Nicki cry because she is quite emotional.
Sorry, James has already got me and all. Like, I'm going to be crying within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, guys, if you are a part of the wrestling community, you already know who Nicki is. It's very difficult to talk about someone when people don't know who you are, Nicki. But whenever I speak to anybody, any guest on the channel, whether it be Drew Ashling, whether it be Erin Jacobs, whether it be JD King, whether it be Alfie or anybody, and if I mention to him Wrestling Jeebus and yourself, they can go on for hours talking about you. And I said this to Liam earlier, and if Liam's watching, he will vouch for me. It is my opinion that you and Jeebus are probably 2 of the 4 pillars of UK wrestling. I feel as though that if you two weren't in UK wrestling, the community wouldn't be the same.
Oh, wow. I agree with the Jeebus part, but I'm kind of just his tag along.
I mean,
but that's lovely.
But yeah, I mentioned it to Liam earlier, and straight away Liam said, "Yeah, that's pretty dead on that," because it's very rare to see someone that is a fan willing to do commentary, willing to be an announcer, willing to do all the things for their company's social media, tag them in the social media, and then you're also running your own podcast and your own Instagram and your own TikTok. You've got so many hats. I'm surprised that they can fit on your head.
Yeah, I don't know how I do it. Add 3 kids into the mix as well. I don't know.
So, what was the what? Take us back to the start, Nicki. What was the actual thing that made you fall in love with wrestling? Is it something that you've loved since you were young, or is it something that you've come into as an adult?
Well, I started when I was young. Like, I'd watch WCW because we didn't have Sky. So me and my parents had watched WCW back in the day, and I was obsessed with Sting and Goldberg. Like, they were my guys, and Rey Mysterio unmasked. Like, I absolutely loved WCW back then. And then I took a bit of a break, and I did keep up with like the Attitude Era and all that. But then I think it really took a turn. I bought a wrestling game. I can't even remember what year it was. I think I was pregnant with my eldest, so like 20 odd years ago. And I got addicted to the game. So then I was like, I'm going to start watching it properly again. And it just it became just a ritual then, like every day. Because I think there was a gap when I was at school, because where I grew up, if you weren't the same as everybody else, it was really tough. So I kind of hid that side of myself, because it was just easier. Like, I didn't fancy getting bullied all the time, or all my mates were into R&B and like stuff like that I'm not into, like reality TV shows, all that lot. I'm not into all that, but I'd pretend I was. And then, yeah, it just kind of snowballed, and I just couldn't stop watching it again.
Fantastic. So, So you go from being a fan. How did you actually? What was the first ever UK wrestling show that you attended, if you remember?
I think it was an NGW show. I'd been watching TNA and I'd started going to the TNA live shows. And I became really I loved Mark Andrews. And then I found out he was doing one of the NGW shows. So me, my son and his dad went to this NGW show just to see Mark Andrews, and it was incredible. It was actually the first time I ever saw Sean Only. He was really young and just, and as soon as I saw him, I was just like, oh my God, he's amazing. The likes of The Proven, Kaz Crash, Sam Wilder. I say all these names, but some people might not be familiar if they're new to British wrestling. But yeah, it was there was Zach Gibson, people like that there, Robbie X. Yeah, and I fell in love with it. And then I went to a Tidal show not long after because Hardcore Holly was there. And I made a really good friend at a TNA show who lived in Liverpool, and me and her started traveling around, going to different shows. We'd go Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, and we just started traveling around and going to different shows, finding different promotions, and it just kind of escalated.
Fantastic. Got a comment from another good friend of ours, Mr. Sledge, who says, Nicki is the greatest ring announcer in the history of wrestling today. She always gives every wrestler a main event level introduction, and her podcast is very awesome. Thank you very much, Sledge, for that, buddy.
Oh, thank
you. We're going to try and not make Nicki cry again.
This is what I mean. What we were saying before we were live. It doesn't make sense to me at all that people actually watch me or know who I am. It don't make any sense.
So, obviously, as we mentioned, you have your own podcast, Jobbin With Nicki. If you guys aren't following Nicki, make sure you go check out the description because I've got a link to both her YouTube and to her Instagram as well. Also, if you look just above my head in the top right-hand corner, just up there, that little QR code just there. If you follow that, that is a link to Nicki's Instagram page. So make sure you go and follow her. Give her some love. Make her cry. not in a mean way. Give some love and then make her cry.
Make me happy cry.
Yeah, happy cry. Only happy tears. So, what made you want to start doing a podcast, Nicki?
I mean, it's kind of a long story. How long we got? So I took a break from British wrestling. It was weird because it was just as Jeebus started going to shows, I was taking my break. I had some stuff happen personally. I was drinking too much, and I just took a break. And then I came back and I was like a different person. I was sober. I didn't drink anymore. I felt like a different person. And then I realized that one of the aspects of going to shows that I love the most is talking to these guys. And seeing the person beneath the character. I'm saying a lot and I'm really conscious of it now. But so yeah, I really like talking to them and finding out how they tick. I've always been quite intrigued by the human mind, let's say, and why people do what they do, how they tick, how they put these things together. And I think wrestling's always been something I can talk about, and I don't have many friends who like to listen. So it just kind of made sense, really. And there was a lot of umming and ahhing. I was thinking about it for a few months, and I was like, should I do it, Jeebs? Should I go for it? And he was like, I'd say yeah. And I'm like, oh, but I'm scared. I had a few moments of that back and forth, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I spoke to a few people; they all thought it was a good idea, so I went for it.
I think it was probably the best thing that you did, to be fair, because I mean, you had so many guests on your channel. You've really just taken off.
Yeah, it's strange. Like sometimes I'll get a message saying, "When's my episode?" And I'm like, "What? Okay, I'll book you in." And again, it's really that's really weird because it's like, I mean, you've seen my stuff, you know what you're getting into because it ain't a normal podcast.
I think that's what people love about you, though, Nikki. That you're not just a regular podcast. You're not just a regular person. It's a unique podcast, a unique person. I mean, you bring out the best in people, and it's just you just have this aura about you that just brightens up everyone's day.
Oh, stop. I think that's I've tried to explain it to Jeebs before, that I think that's like I know I've said it to Sammy, that I've been at my lowest. I know what it feels like to feel alone. I know what it feels like to feel judged. I know what it feels like to feel like you've got nobody on your side. So I just want to be that person for everyone. Like, if anyone's got a problem, Matty Carter, for example, he did a match, his first singles match at a PPW house show, and I could see that he was feeling a bit wobbly after it. And I just went, I didn't even know him. I just went over. I'm like, if you need to talk, I'm here. You know, it's just how I am. I don't want anyone to feel how I felt in the past.
Absolutely. So like you just mentioned there that you didn't even know Matty, you just went over and just had that interaction with him. Would you say that it's obviously you've got your 3 lovely children? Would you say that sort of like motherly instinct kicked in as soon as you saw him?
Yeah, it's like I call it my mum anxiety. So like again, I'm going to use Jeebus as an example, and he's going to hate me for this story. So something simple. We were at Spoons, and we ordered food, and I could see that he really wanted this ketchup from another table. Now I'm really socially anxious all the time. I act confident because I have to. It's the mask you put on. But I could see how much he wanted it, and he would not ask this man. And I was like, I've got to go ask the man for the ketchup. It's like I can be as anxious as anything, but if I see someone more anxious or someone else anxious, I will then step up for them. And it's like I say, I call it my mum anxiety, motherly instinct, whatever you want to call it. It's just if someone seems just like they're having trouble, I will put everything to do with me aside and concentrate on that one person.
You definitely have that aura about you, Nikki. Just a really caring person, everything like that. And I think that's what just draws people into you. I mean, I know I've spoken to obviously JD King, I've spoken to Monty, or Mustafa Khan as we know him. And as soon as I mentioned you, Mustafa's first reaction was, "Oh, not her again."
Of course.
And JD's answer was, "Yeah, I love her to bits." I mean, well, you obviously saw it because you saw it with
I love JD King so much. Like, it's weird how fast we clicked as friends. Ryan as well. Like, we just seemed to click straight away. Like the first time I actually met them, I was laid out on a velvet couch getting Jeebus to take a picture of me. And they walked out. And then that was it. And the rest is history. There was a really nice velvet couch at Todmorden. And I was like, James, I need a picture. But yeah, I think me and JD King especially, we're very similar brain-wise. And we agree on a lot of things about life in general, about, I can tell him absolutely anything. Like, I feel that comfortable with him. And it's only been like a year and a half, if that. And I think when you meet a person, you either know if they're going to be a big part of your life or not. It's usually pretty easy to tell. And yeah, I think me and JD, we talk like constantly. Whenever I see him, massive hug. Like, I never want to let him go because he makes me feel better. But as for Mustafa, I've known him about 10 years now, on and off. Like, obviously I took my break, but before then, like, he's helped me out a ton in the past when I was drinking, when I did get into states at shows. Mustafa was someone who was really there for me. And I just think he is one of the best people in the whole world. He's got time for everyone. He'll help anyone. And I think he's one of the best people in the entire world. And I'm very privileged that I know him and I can class him as a friend.
I feel exactly the same way, Nicki. You can see why he's a teacher. When I had him on the show and he mentioned to be a teacher, I was like, "You're a teacher?" And then I went, "Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense." Yeah. He was saying now he was one of the teachers in charge of isolation, and I said to him, "What's the best reaction that you've had from a student that's seen a near 6'6", 300-pound demigod walking towards them like, get here, you're in trouble?" I'd be like, "I'm going home. Going home."
I would never be back at that school, honestly. I'd never be back. Run and don't look back.
You'd either never go back or you'd go back every day and be on your best behavior and never go in isolation ever again.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like I mentioned, went to our first UKW show back at Aftermath, and when Mustafa came out and his music started playing, first thing I heard was you just screaming at the top of your lungs, and then he came out. I was like, "Oh my god, who's this guy? He's massive!" And he walked past us, and I was like, "It's like looking at chuffing Big Show."
Yeah.
And I'm 6'3", and I was sat down. And I was like, "Jesus, how big is he?"
Imagine how I feel. I'm only 5'2.9".
You've got to get that 0.29 in.
0.9 matters. The 0.9 matters, right? But yeah, imagine how I feel.
Definitely. Jibbers has come back with another comment, Lovey.
Oh no.
He just likes his sketchup.
He does.
He just likes ketchup.
He does. Like, I
mean,
even
we all
know
like ketchup.
when we go to Spoons, I'll be like, "Are you having your American cheeseburger with ketchup on it?" Yeah, I know what you're having. I change my order up. He always has the American cheeseburger, sometimes a double.
Right. I'm going to fire a question to you, Nicki, and I might throw you under the bus here.
Oh, gosh.
I want you to give me your top 3 wrestlers from every single UK wrestling company that you've been to.
What, 3 from each company, or I've got to just pick 3?
It's up to you, love. It's your episode. You can either do an overall top 3, or you can do top 3 from each company. It's up to you.
That might be better because then I can balance people out through company. Oh, I'm gonna get hate for this.
Yes.
No, Nicki's nice.
Nicki's
everyone.
God damn it! You picked the mum answer.
I pick everyone. We have no favourites in this house. No favourites in this house. No favourites. I can't do it, honestly. I really can't.
I'm just expecting a lot of people to put in the comments now, do it, Nicki, do it, do it, do it,
No,
do it, do
it.
it.
I really can't. I can't.
No. I'll try. I tried to get a bit.
I mean,
Ooh.
Isaac North is up there. I could probably do top 20.
I'm trying to do top 20. You can do top 20 overall, but it's got to be in numerical order. So you've got to pick a top.
Can't do
top
that
20.
either. Can't do that. Can't do that.
So 20 is your worst, the person that you think is absolutely shit, and then one's person that you think's best. And I think number one should be George Hunter, way that you screamed I was sat probably half a mile away from you, and you still ruptured my eardrum when you came out that first time.
You haven't heard me at a Sammy Blue match or an Isaac North match. I'm just a menace, okay? Jeebus said, his hearing's gone down. I've made sure it's only in one ear. We always sit the same side. I've let him have one ear that works properly. The other one, not so much.
Sledge has put another question to you, love, and it's similar to the one I've just given you, but it's a bit nicer.
Okay.
Who are your top 5 dream guests that you would love to have on Jobbin With Nicki?
Right. So are we going UK wrestling or all the world?
That's entirely up to you. If you want to do one of each, so if you want to do one for all the wrestling, and then you can do one just UK.
Right. Let's go all the world first. Rhea Ripley, Jeff Hardy, Seth Rollins, Shawn Michaels. I feel like I'm going to leave someone out. This is the thing now. I've got one space left. Well, this is a random one. But I was talking to Tony Tripadina, and we were on about this promotion in Australia that I used to watch. And I would really love to get the Jurassic Punk Sid Parker on my podcast. But Jeff Hardy would be, of all time, the best one for me.
What about UK, love?
Well, spoiler, I've got one of my dream guests actually coming on next week, and I'm very excited, but I'm not saying who. So I'm going to you have to pick 5 different ones.
It can't just be your kids either.
That's tricky. I'm thinking of ones that I'm really scared to ask. Like, I have a list of people that I'm brave enough to ask. I'm getting a little bit more brave. And then there's the we'll never ask list. I honestly don't know.
I kind of want to know who's on the never will ask list.
Only because I'm too scared to ask them. But to be fair, I've got no shame. So if I see someone at a show and I'm talking to them, I ask them because I've just got no shame and I've got nothing to lose. So I don't really have a dream UK wrestlers, I don't think. So I think I'd ask them and just go for it.
Might as well.
Yeah, I can't choose UK ones.
No worries. So if you can cast your mind back, love, what's the very first piece of wrestling content that you created, if you can remember?
Oof. I can't remember. I don't know. I know I started doing I did a little highlight package for Billy O'Keefe. I don't know if that was one of my first ones, but I messaged him and I was like, what's your entrance music? So I can put it over the top. But I know before then I started doing little video logs of going to shows. And I wouldn't speak over them or anything. It'd just be a bit of music, some of the matches, bit of merch, these little bits. I really don't. It was probably one of them. Like when I first started wanting to do more than what I was doing, it was probably one of the vlogs, and I think it could have been a PPW that may have been the first one.
Okay, so what would you say has been the biggest sort of like learning curve from you being a podcaster and interviewing people?
I think overall it's learning. Like, it's took a lot for me to learn the personal professional boundary. Like, it sounds really bad, but like I've restricted my personal profile again on Instagram because like I think there's certain aspects to life you don't need to share with absolutely everybody. I'm a very big oversharer, so everything's out there with me. I'm not fussed. But it's took a while for me to learn that not everybody's like that. And that there has to be that personal, professional boundary, and that like not everyone's your friend. Like I think that's been the biggest learning thing for me.
Absolutely. So when it comes to, obviously, you wear a lot of hats, as we've already mentioned.
I don't wear hats. My head's too round.
I'll change it to hair extensions then.
I don't wear extensions either. Glasses.
Glasses. A lot of glasses.
I wear a lot of glasses.
So, commentator, announcer, interviewer, backstage, anything like that. Which company gave you your first chance to work at a live show?
PPW gave me the first chance at it, but it was an in-house show. And then the first company that had me announcing was FCB in Bradford. And I can't say, enough nice things. Like I've made some great friends through FCB. And yeah, they had me host their show. I was terrified. And they really like took me in. Like I didn't feel out of place or anything. I'd done a couple of PPWs leading up to that. But yeah, that was my first in front of like paying audience.
What would you say is biggest difference? You mentioned before we came on stream that obviously you're used to being the other way around. So you're used to being on this side of camera rather than that side of camera. And obviously you're writing notes and everything for the interview. What would you say is biggest difference between writing about a wrestling show versus actually talking about it and announcing a live match sort of thing?
I think it's the passion when you're talking about it. I'm a very expressive, passionate person. Let's word it like that. And I think talking about it, it's that emotion. Like if I've been really invested in a match or a moment, and I sit and I text you it, it's not going to have the same impact as if I'm sat here like going, "Oh my God, this happened and that happened, and you'll never believe this." It's not going to have the same impact.
See, you say that, but every single time that you message me on Instagram, I automatically read it in your voice.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll nudge my wife and be like, "Hey, up, Nikki's messaged me." She's like, "What's your message yet?" Like that, and straight away she's like, "Yeah, I can read. I've read that in Nikki's voice."
Really loudly. Really loudly with a weird laugh at the end.
So, we mentioned that we were at Toil Rumble on Saturday. You were asked to be on comms with Mr. Gareth Angel. Was that quite a surprise for you? Because when it came to it,
yes. Well, yes and no. Me and Gaz had been speaking. They did a show at Darley Market, I want to say Darley. Not sure if that's what it's called. They did a show there, and I went down as part of Hot Tag and was handing out flyers and stuff like that. And me and Gaz got into discussing, like, he'd seen some of my commentary clips, watched a couple of my podcasts, and he thought I'd be a good fit. I didn't know it was going to be as soon as the Toil Rumble, because obviously I was going down with Hot Tag. I was going to be making signs and all this. But then Gaz messaged me and was like, do you want to commentate the Rumble? I said, let me run it by Dan, make sure that he can spare me on comms, because we had an extra person. We had Louis coming down anyway. So I was like, and Dan was just like, Nicki, it's a great opportunity. Go for it. I was incredibly nervous though, because like, I know I do it at UKW every Friday, but like I've got that dynamic with Brocco now and I'm comfortable. So doing it somewhere else was really nerve-wracking.
It was quite funny at the Rumble when I tried to do the quickfire questions with Gareth in between during the interval, and literally got a minute to go, and you were literally stood at the side of me going, "Come on, dickhead, move!" I'm like, sorry,
it's going tick, 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 and that's all I could hear. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm not in my chair. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I have this awful thing about having to be early and on time or early for everything. And it was like, there's 30 seconds left. Why is he still in my chair? I can't get to my chair. And in my head, I'm like, you're going to miss the whole second half, Nicki, because I couldn't get in my chair in that one moment. Like, I was like, I know he'll be gone before it starts up again. But in my head, it's like, no, it's ruined.
Right, I want to set something straight. I'll blame Shannon, because she went to the toilet and she was ages at the toilet, and I was like, Shannon, come on, I want to do this. We guys, quick, I'm not going to get a chance after the show. Come on, hurry up. She's like, well, I had to wait. I went in a queue. Like, sound. I might have missed my opportunity to interview Gazzy, but right, all right, sound. But
right, we'll blame Shannon. We'll blame the toilet.
Yeah, we'll blame Shannon. Yeah, blame the toilet queue. So obviously mentioned that you've been on commentary at UKW with Brocco. I do watch the shows on a Friday and everything like that. You and Brocco have got a real chemistry with each other, sort of thing. Is there anyone in particular that you would like to do commentary with, in particular? You can't say Jeebus.
Me and Jeebus would get cancelled straight away. Me and Jeebus couldn't do comms together. I really wanted to do it with Hamza. So I mentioned it to Joe, and then like 2 weeks later, Hamza was a special commentator, and I was so happy. So I kind of like to think that if there is anyone, I'll just have a quiet word with Joe. But overall, I reckon Nathan Black would be a good one.
Oh.
I reckon me and Nathan could bounce off each other, like, and it'd be brilliant. It'd be pure comedy gold. But when I'm going to be doing it at Kingdom some more, and I'm going to be with Jensen Vesper, and I am very excited for that, because like I interviewed him and Gaz watched that, and he said the chemistry between you two and like the back and forth, he says it's going to be incredible.
Oh, fantastic. So with you navigating so many roles within the wrestling community, for you, if you could define success, what would you define that as?
Just being happy. Just being happy, feeling like like personally, like it'd be feeling like I found my place, like I'm settled. I've had a lot of unsettle over the past, how old's John? Over the past like 11 years, there's been a lot of unsettle. So this past year and a half, nearly 2 years, and especially the past 6 months, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, but I finally feel like I'm getting settled and I'm finding my place. And I think when I feel fully happy, like I'm not happy, but when I think that'd be success. It's not about money. It's not about, as long as I'm happy, my kids are happy, then that'll be the biggest success, I think.
Fantastic, love.
Sorry for the
Also,
really lame answer. It's tons of money. It's tons of money and a mansion. There you go.
Hello. So before we move on, love, I've got a couple of Instagram questions, but before we get to those, I do want to just mention that obviously you mentioned that you've been at UKW quite a lot. I actually messaged you a couple of weeks back, if you remember, saying I'd love to do commentary at a UKW show. And you were like, yeah, I'll sort it with Joe, I'll sort it with Joe, I'll sort it with Joe. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I can't do it now because I'm interviewing someone. And I was like, I feel right bad. I feel like I've let Nicki down. What am I doing? I'm a dickhead, this, that, other. And I was like, I'm going to have to tell her. Otherwise she's going to be like, I've asked him and he can't come now. Oh, no, I can't do it. Oh, no. I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't disappoint her. I feel like I'm disappointing my mum. It was just, I was like, I feel like the biggest dickhead in the world.
Oh, don't be so daft.
Oh, but yeah, I would love to do some commentary with you one day, love, if that would be possible. So, Jonathan Sedgwick, Joe Sedgwick, if you're watching this, that's me. You know,
for one night only, he's not taking my job. Right, I love my job.
One night only. God, we need to do the live reactions, me and Liam. God, not taking over Nicki's position. Jesus, I'll get crucified by the entire chuffing community. Bloody hell.
So steal Nicki's job, all my sons will come for you.
So, yeah, the Instagram questions, love it. First is from our beloved Sledge Bro. Who asks, what other promotions would you like to ring announce for and why?
Oh, that's a good one. It's gonna be really lame, but I'm just happy anywhere. Like I don't have a like dream promotion that I want to work for or anything like that. I'm just doing it because I like doing it. So anywhere really, anywhere they'll laugh at me.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, I think that's probably the best answer you can give. Other question, love, is from our very good friend, Miss Drew Ashlin, who asks, what was it like becoming a commentator at UKW, and also what's next for Jobbin With Nicki?
Oh, what's next? Well, I'll answer the first one first. It was scary. It was scary becoming a commentator because I'd never done it before, ever. And it was the lovely Chris Castle, who I was talking to him outside. I randomly said, I'd love to give it a go one day. He then went straight to Joe. Nicki wants to try comms. Should get Nicki on comms. So then Joe came over. We talked a bit. He said he'd message me if he needed me. He messaged me and I shat myself. Not literally, because that's gross. But I messaged Jeeves, as I always do. He's my go-to. And I'm like, shit, it's happening. What do I do? But, I went down. I was working with Brocco. And like me and Brocco have just clicked. Like, we got on well anyway. Before and after shows, we'd have a chat. But working with him has made it so much easier. Oh no, actually, my first one was with Tommy Dillon. Sorry, Tommy. My first one was Tommy Dillon. And again, he made me, you know, I'd never done it before. He was the play-by-play, you know, I was just there. And I was really, really quiet at the beginning, but then I think I found my stride. And then the week after, I was with Brocco, and yeah, he's just made it so much easier. Like, I just feel like I slot right in with Brocco. But I have had the honour of commentating with Evan Bishop as well. We had a night where he was on comms with me, and that was an experience. It was great. It was great. I absolutely love him. I think he's just one of the nicest guys. Like, we have such a laugh. The fact that we got to take that to commentary and have such a laugh with it was brilliant. Hamza being there, like I say, I really wanted to do comms with Hamza. He's just so funny. He's one of the funniest guys I know. And again, it all worked smoothly. I've done it with Mustafa Khan as well. We named ourselves the Deviled Eggs. Only because Jeeves took a picture. We all look like eggs above the commentary desk. So with the Deviled Eggs, us three. So that was great too. But yeah, I was scared. I was terrified. Thought I'd be rubbish at it. Apparently, I'm not. And the other question, what's next for Jobbing with Nicki? Well, I don't know. I haven't really got a plan. I'm just winging it, love. Sorry, Drew. I'm just winging it. You know I'm winging it.
I think that's pretty much same for everybody, Nicki, that we're all just winging it.
Yeah, we're all just winging through life and just hoping something sticks.
Thank God it's wrestling.
Yeah. I don't think I know anything else.
Absolutely love. Okay, so we got through the first lot of questions and the Instagram questions. If it's okay with you, love, I'd like to go into the dark side of things, not the force, with some mental health questions, if that's okay, love.
That's perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm an oversharer, so this could get a bit messy.
So, as we say, guys, we're going to get into my mental health questions now. If you are struggling with mental health, I've put some links into some charities in the description below, not only for things such as depression, anxiety, also addiction, and also for people who have suffered from domestic abuse. Make sure you go check those out. And yeah, let's get straight into the questions on mental health, and hopefully we can help some people. So, Nicki, first question I'm going to ask you, and this might seem like a curveball. What is your biggest fear?
There is a backstory. It's not just a weird thing, but losing everything I have, like my children, my home. That's my biggest fear. I mean, I can go into more depth, but it could be a long one.
If you feel up to it, if you want to share that, that's entirely up to you.
I mean, I don't mind. Basically, I was in a domestic abuse relationship with my middle son, his dad, and I was the one who had to go out to work all hours, and unknown to me, not only was he mentally abusing me, he was mentally abusing my eldest and physically abusing our son from being 3 months old to being 3. So I felt, I escaped. I went to a women's refuge with them too. So I lost my home, everything like that. Also, during that time, while they were investigating his dad, they had to make sure I had nothing to do with it. So they took him into foster care for 2 weeks. And that's probably the worst 2 weeks of my life, because I don't know how I functioned, because it's because I had the other one to look after. But then I got him back, and that's when we moved to a women's refuge. And then it's just because people don't believe me when I tell the whole story. Then I moved to Leeds, and then a year into living in Leeds, my best friend at the time, her ex-boyfriend tried to kill me by setting my house on fire with me and the children asleep in it. So by the time I'd got settled, I then lost everything again, and my kids nearly died. So yeah, my biggest fear is losing my children, losing everything.
Wow. Yeah. I don't mean to laugh, but I don't really know what else to say to that.
It's fine. Not a lot of people do. Like I say, I trauma dump, and I don't know when to stop sometimes. I've done it at UKW, and I randomly said, I was talking to Tracy, and I says, oh yeah, I lost that when someone tried to kill me and burnt my house down. And Cliff was stood there, and he just kind of went, I don't know what to say. I was like, it's fine. I was making jokes 2 hours after it happened. If you don't laugh, you cry. And I've had 2 at the time, little people to be strong for.
So you basically your mother's instinct kicked in and was sort of like, my kids come first, and then I'll sort things out.
Yeah.
Definitely. So you mentioned earlier that obviously you struggle with anxiety. When did you first become aware that you were struggling with that particular mental health?
I think I was roughly 18, 19. I got diagnosed with depression at 17 and got put on medication, but then the social anxiety side of it kind of seeped in. So it's been many, many, many years of dealing with it. And I think that's why when I said I put that front on and I put that mask on, I've become very used to having to.
Absolutely. So, has there ever been any periods where your anxiety and your depression has felt particularly like overwhelming? Like, for instance, you might be at a show. Have you ever had any problems where you felt particularly overwhelmed at all, or has wrestling sort of been like your refuge?
Wrestling's always been what I've classed as my happy place, my safe place. More so the second time around now that I'm going, because the first time I used alcohol a lot to mask how I was feeling. But this time around, I'd say definitely it's a huge help. To feel like I'm in a community that gets it. It's not, a community where everyone's into different things or stuff. Like, you're all there for wrestling. So I feel like it's there's not as much judgment as there is, say, like if I went to a nightclub or if I went to a gig. I feel like there'd be lots of different kinds of people there. Whereas at wrestling, you kind of know the clientele that's going to be there. You kind of know what kind of community you're walking into. I have had instances at shows where I have got really anxious. Like if it's a promotion I've not been to before or a venue I've not been to before, it does start playing on me. And poor old Jeeves has to put up with me, like freaking out a little bit. And then there'll be like the odd show where I've had to just step outside for a minute and just take a breather before going back in. I don't know if you noticed on Saturday, I was zipping around like an headless chicken towards the beginning of the show. And I was talking to someone. I'm like, I feel like my eyes are like this because it had been so calm during the day. And then once all the wrestlers were in there planning, and then all the crowd piled in, I felt so overwhelmed, just like there's so many people here. I don't know how to handle this. But then as soon as I sat on commentary and the wrestling started, I was absolutely fine.
It's quite a phenomenon when something like that happens, because when I've spoke to wrestlers before on the channel, they said that they say a very similar thing, that they could be having the worst day ever. As soon as they get through to Gorilla, as soon as they walk through the curtain, it just goes like that.
Yeah.
What do you think it's something like? Is it like adrenaline? Do you think it's sort of just like your brain knows, right, business time, I'm doing this, I'm gonna be okay?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you've struggled with your mental health for so long as well, like say there's that mask you put on. I always say, time to put the mask on and smile and be the happy, cheery Nikki that everybody knows, the loud, confident Nikki that everybody knows, not the Nikki that sits in oversized t-shirts with no makeup or greasy hair crying into her cornflakes. No one knows that Nikki. Well, very few people know that Nikki. The Nikki that's rocking back and forth on kitchen floor because she's having a panic attack, that Nikki. I think when you're in that environment and you've got a job to do, and that there's fans and bums in seats or people listening at home on YouTube or whatever, then I think you need to, it's just, the adrenaline, you put that mask on and you just do the job that needs doing.
So when you're doing something like commentary, and you're doing like announcing things like that, if you're starting to get really anxious sort of thing, do you have any other sort of like coping mechanisms, or sort of like a way that you can sort of like calm yourself down so that you can do the job? Do you just like...
I've not really got anxious while, like, during doing commentary or announcing. Like beforehand I have, and I'll usually be like, Jeeves, go get me a Twix, or a little bit of sugar goes a long way when I'm anxious. Or one of the reasons I started vaping, it sounds really daft, but I'd started buying these things off Amazon, these breathe sticks to help me breathe. And I have found that vaping helps me breathe because I'm sucking it in and blowing it out. It's a deep breath. So, because I used to smoke years and years ago, and I stopped, and then I stopped drinking, and I was like, I have nothing to take the edge off. Like, there's nothing. So I found that vaping takes the edge off a little bit. It gives me 5 minutes to myself to go outside, and it helps me with like just breathing patterns. And that's not me promoting vaping, by the way. Don't do it just for that reason. Don't do it because you've got anxiety, right? It's just my way of coping. I'll put that in there, put a little disclaimer.
Yeah, we'll put a disclaimer.
And I'll talk about something serious, and then I'll crack a joke. That's another way I deal.
Absolutely. So when you're going through your toughest periods, obviously with your mental health, you mentioned Jeebus. Who would you say are your most reliable support systems during those periods?
Definitely Jeebus. My friend Gemma, she's not into wrestling or so it's like she's my mum friend. But I know I can call her up. My friend Katie as well. We've been friends since we were 10. So that's like 30 years. So we know each other inside out. And JD King, I know if I'm having a bad day or I'm having a panic attack. And Ryan, I have been messaging Ryan once while laid on the floor because it was cold and I needed cold. Same with JD. I messaged him once having a panic attack about it was bonfire night. Obviously, I don't do well with fire and smoke. And I messaged him and he completely changed the subject. And we talked about something else. And then he said, I wasn't ignoring what you were saying. I just needed to get your mind off of it. And that one moment sticks in my head. And that was not even long into our friendship. I'd say about 3-4 months into me knowing him. And he was there through that panic attack, talked me down. And of course, my Sammy Blue. A hug from Sammy. I'm going to cry talking about it. I've told him this. A hug from Sammy Blue makes my day so much better. I can be having the worst day. And if I see him and I just give him a hug, he it's like he knows and he just will hold me. Or I can just message him. He's talked me through many a panic attack, many an issue, and to say the age difference, like we're from two completely different generations, to say the maturity that he's got, to be able to talk a full grown bloody mum of 3 down off the edge, it says a lot for him. And Jeebus just puts up with my rants all the time. When I'm on a super hyper day, I will send him voice notes at 6 o'clock in the morning singing to the radio. But I know that I can just message Jeebs and he'll be there. And if I'm having a bad day and we're going to a show, it'll be like, right, we'll meet early. We'll go for a coffee. We'll have a natter. It's like I've got a good group of lads.
We're the lads.
Yeah, lads, as Jeebs would say. I love that I just said that. Oi, oi, Savaloy. I said that just for Jeebus. Do you know what I thought? A Savaloy was a fish. Because they sell it at the chippy. So I assumed it was a fish. Turns out it's a sausage. Sorry, carry He'll love that I just went on my Savaloy rant though. I did that just for Jeebs.
No, it was love. Yeah, big shout out to Wrestling Jeebus and big shout out to Sammy Blue. So, based on your personal story, Nicki, what advice would you give to someone, whether they be a wrestling fan or anybody that's watching this? What advice would you give to that person who's struggling with their mental health and they feel as though they can't talk to anybody?
It's easier said than done, but you're not alone. There's always someone who will listen. It's taken me 30 years to actually realize that there's some people who will listen, who want to listen and who care. Don't let it win, because I could easily hide away and, as to not upset anybody or, make enemies or whatever by starting a channel doing what I do. But I haven't. And I think you got to sometimes just do the things that terrify you and that scare you. But make sure you've got good support around you. Like, make sure you've got people who you can count on. Like, I can talk to JD, Sammy, Mark. I know it won't go any further. Mostly JD King because he don't remember. But but yeah, just talk. If you see me at a show for the look, you've just heard me ramble on about how much I love listening to people. Just find me. Just say I've got an issue. Just message me. Just talk to me. I'm not scary, and I like to help. That's to anyone at all. My inbox is always open. I'm usually at shows.
Absolutely love. So have you ever had it where, like you've just said, you've been at a show and you can tell that a particular wrestler is struggling? What sort of things go through your head when you're noticing someone is struggling?
I need to go talk to that person. I need to help. That's literally like the only thing that goes through my head is I want to help that person. Like I don't think there's anything else. I want to help that person. I will go and talk to them. And I'll just usually be like, right, you might not know me very well, or you might not know me at all. But if you've got an issue, just come and talk to me. I'm here. Or be like, tell me what's wrong. Let me try and fix it. I want to fix everything.
Absolutely. So when you've had guests on your podcast as well, have you ever had it that a guest has been struggling and they've just offloaded on you on stream, or has it been that they've waited until after the podcast is finished that they then offload to you? Has that ever happened at all?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, I don't know why, I'm there to talk to, but it might be again that mask thing. They're there to be, do something for their wrestling. So,
absolutely. So, as we come to end, love, last couple of questions for you. What's trying to word this in a way that I can. What would you like your legacy to be? So if someone in 50, 40 years time said, remember Jobbin with Nicki, what is the one thing that you would like people to remember you for?
just that I was nice. I know that sounds really stupid. That sounds really stupid. I think I've always, for me, one of my big things is I people please. I crave being liked, because of other shit that's happened. Like there's a lot that's gone on since turning 12. Like there's a lot, and I think I've always craved that acceptance, and I still kind of do in a way. I'm getting better with it, but I would like people, like what Sledge Bro said earlier, like what you've said about me. I want people to still remember the nice Nicki, the one that, I don't want to be that stereotypical, oh, she lit up a room. That's no. But, I want people to remember that I did care and I was there for people, that I was nice. I made Jeebus deaf. That could be on my gravestone. Here lies Nicki. She deafened wrestling Jeebus. I did it again, didn't I, with the joke at the
Oh, brilliant. So when you're at these wrestling shows, Nicki, have you ever faced any controversy from any of the fans at all?
No, I had some issues in the past with a couple wrestlers, which did put me off going to wrestling shows. Like my anxiety it was awful. I don't think I've had any controversy with fans. Not to my face anyway, Don't think so. I like to think that I'm quite easy to get along with, and that people don't hate me.
To be fair, Nikki, I think it's not the fact that people won't say it, like it's not that people won't say it, it's that they don't say it because they know that if they do say anything, they're just going to get punched in the face by all the wrestlers.
Oh, there was some old ladies at the me and Jeeves went to a Kingdom show, and it was one of like the time before this that Billy had faced Jack Johnson. I was very loud. I got up at the end to go to the toilet, and the old ladies were complaining to each other how I ruined their night because I was so loud.
You're at a wrestling show, Grandma. Shut up.
I told Gaz, and he was just like, "Oh, tell him to come back on Sunday when it's quiet then." Yeah, that's probably the most controversy I've had with other fans, is I was too loud for a group of old ladies who didn't know what to expect. But it was Billy O'Keefe versus Jack Johnson, and Jack screwed him, and I was going to get invested.
I've got to say, Nikki, I think that's one of the main things that we all absolutely love about you. The fact that you will show your personality, you wear your heart on your sleeve, you give the wrestlers the biggest ovation ever, you get the crowd going. Like, I think that is like the supplement as to why everyone loves you, because it's not that you don't care what people think of you, it's that you are just being you.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason why everyone loves you.
And it's like I think when you're at a wrestling show, you know, they're there to put on a show. It's the same as if you go to a concert. You're not going to stand there quiet, not cheering, not singing along. They're there to put on a show. And whether you enjoy the full show or you don't enjoy the full show, like I've seen matches that haven't been that great, but I don't make that known. Like in private, maybe to a friend, but I make sure that the wrestlers, that's their job. And I don't want to seem disrespectful in any way to them doing their job. I think that sometimes gets lost. I think sometimes some people forget that there's an actual person underneath that character. And that's one of the things why I wanted to start Jobbing with Nicki. I don't think that should get lost. I know we're all there for the characters, we're all there for the wrestling, we're all there for the boo the heel, cheer the face. But they are people and they have feelings. And if you're at a show not reacting in any way, if you're not cheering, you're not booing, you just sat there, that to me is disrespectful to the talent on the show. And yeah, that's why I'm so loud. I don't want them to go backstage and feel like they haven't done their job right, that they haven't performed to the best, to their ability. I want them to go back thinking that crowd was loud, I did my job. I want them to leave that show feeling proud, feeling happy, feeling like they've accomplished what they set out to do. That was a big rant. I am so I'm very passionate about that.
Like I said, Nikki, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and that's what we love about you. So we've got a comment from someone, and I want you to see if you can guess who it is by the action and the noise I'm about to make. Okay? You ready?
Okay.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
So, Nikki,
do I have to explain this?
Explain this.
So, on Saturday, Louis was part of the Hot Tag Foundation. Dan and a couple of others were going out for lunch. I was told I was in charge of Louis. So I walked over to Louis. I said, you sit there, no roads, no strangers, no candy. And every time I went for a vape, I was like, Louis, I'm going for a vape. Don't go on any roads. Don't talk to strangers. Stay over there. and it went on and on and on all night. Dan said, he was like, "You're a mum, you're probably the best person to watch him." So my first reaction was, be a mum. No roads, no strangers, no candy. Yep. Are you okay, Jim?
Oh, I'm fine. Louis put back. Yes, mother.
Oh, Louis, I love you. I love you, Louis.
Oh, I think we all love Louis. He's amazing. So it's funny that that story that you've just told me reminds me of. So next time you see myself, Shannon and Liam, I want you to do me a favor. She's going to give you a funny look, and she's also going to give me the evils. But ask Shannon about bridges.
Okay.
Just ask her about it, and myself, Liam, will absolutely wet himself laughing, and Shannon will explain it to you.
Okay.
It was on our way to the first our first UKW show, and it's just something that my wife Shannon said out, like just out of the blue, really random, weren't expecting it, and myself and Liam were like, "What you said that for?" It's like that's not really mean that. She was like, "I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it." I was like, oh, so yeah, just next time you see Shannon, just ask.
Okay.
I'll make sure that I'll message you next time we'll come in, and I'll remind you just because. Yeah, you'll literally
play on my mind, and I'm gonna need to know.
Yeah, you will literally start crying laughing because it's just that funny. This is the type of podcast that I love, Nikki. Just coming on with someone that is a genuine friend that I can just have a chat with, and it's an absolute pleasure talking to you, love. Last two questions I've got for you, love it, are what are your aspirations and goals for personal life and with your social media channels?
I don't know. I don't have any. I just go day to day. As long as I'm still here and I wake up, then it's a good day. My aspiration is to go to bed, wake up tomorrow, do what I need to do, then Friday UKW, and that's as far as I'm thinking. Oh no, Saturday I'm in Newton Aycliffe. I'm hosting Zero Limits. So there we go. That's all I've thought up to so far.
Fair enough. And then last question I've got for you, Nikki. So I posted this question to Steve Dean, the referee, when I had that gentleman on.
Steve.
And I'm not gonna lie, he had a complete mental breakdown. It took him about 20 minutes to answer this question, and he was like, "Oh my god, why have you asked me that? Why have you asked me that? You absolute dickhead! Why have you asked me that?" So I've had some quite funny reactions to this. I'm hoping that you'll give a similar one. It's really simple.
Okay.
Who is on your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers?
No, because mine's always really controversial.
Personal preference, love.
Jeff Hardy, Shawn Michaels, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar. See?
Do you want to explain why? Hey, I love Brock Lesnar. I like Brock Lesnar as much as the next person.
Huge Brock Lesnar fan. I think he's got it all. He's terrifying. Yeah, he's not great on a mic and he slips over, but we've all fell down at some point. I didn't turn mine into a backward roll and make it look cool. We've all split our pants at some point. Like, I just think, yeah, he's incredible. Love Brock Lesnar, if you couldn't tell.
So when it was announced that Brock Lesnar was the 5th member of Team Vision's War Games team, okay, I said this to my wife Shannon. For me, Brock Lesnar and Undertaker, those two people in wrestling are the only two people that when you hear their music, no matter if they've been gone for 10 years, 20 years, whatever, the crowd instantly has that reaction because of the aura that they have. There is not a single person in the rest of wrestling history that has that aura.
I'm silly. I do agree. I add him to my list of people I would love to talk to. Like, I'd love to pick his brain. I think he's just, yeah. Love him.
I love
like,
his.
I always feel weird because I've not got like Undertaker and Stone Cold and that on mine, and I always feel like it's controversial and like fake fan. But yeah, personal preference. They are it. Shawn Michaels, incredible. Like, I have no words for Shawn Michaels. Just everything he's done, continues to do with NXT, deserves to be on there. John Cena, well, he's John Cena. I bought his CD from a SmackDown show on the merch stand. I bought his CD. It is still here somewhere in my house, and I love it. It's a great album. And Jeff Hardy's Jeff Hardy. He was my all-time favorite.
Yeah. If I'm honest, Nick, I think out of all the people I've interviewed, your Mount Rushmore is probably the closest to my Mount Rushmore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's only one that I'd change, and I'd put in Undertaker for Jeff Hardy, just because I absolutely loved Undertaker.
There we go.
And rest of me, Mount Rushmore is exactly the same.
It's because Brock Lesnar's the best.
I mean, when you hear that guitar riff, you just think everyone in the ring is about to die.
Yeah. What was really funny is my son is a huge Roman Reigns fan. Now, I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan. Love Roman Reigns, but Brock Lesnar pips him. So I was out, like, I jumped out my seat when Brock Lesnar came back. I was bouncing up and down. Then Roman Reigns music hit. My lad starts jumping up and down. We realize we're then going to be on opposing teams. and we just start giving each other a shit. He's like, Roman Reigns already beat Brock Lesnar. Like, I don't care. Okay, suplex, bitch. Like, to my 13-year-old, by the way. Like, every time he did a suplex at War Games, I'm going like, Suplex City, bitch, how'd you like that? and then I go back to mum mode and I'm like, don't you swear near me, ever. Has this podcast gone how you expected?
Yeah, exactly how I expected.
Chaos
and I love it.
Me. Chaos follows me.
Yeah, and I absolutely love it, Nikki. Honestly, it's been an absolute honor and a privilege to have you on. I really do appreciate you coming on. So yeah, guys, that's the end of today's episode of the Unseen Battles with Miss Jobbin With Nicki. It's been an absolute honor to have her on. To finish off, Nikki, I always let the guests finish off. So if there's anything you want to say, anything you want to plug, obviously you've got your Instagram channel just in the corner. I've also linked down your YouTube channel and your Instagram in the description below. So make sure you go check that out, guys. Because if you don't, then Nikki's going to cry, and if you make Nikki cry, then we're all going to come and kick lumps at you. So yeah, make sure you go check.
Happy cry. Happy cry.
Yes.
Sad cry.
Happy cries. Happy cries. So yeah, if there's anything you want to say, if there's anything you want to plug, if there's anything you want to get off your chest, you can do that. The floor is yours, and then we will end the stream. I do have one thing to say that we can end the stream on, and it is going to make you laugh.
Okay.
Nibbles.
Nibbles!
We'll see you guys later. As always, guys, check out Jobbin With Nicki, and remember, it's okay to talk. Let's get people talking about mental health in wrestling. And as always, guys, we'll see you guys later.
Bye. Oh, gosh.